The best architects are tormented artists. They might come across as stubborn or really hard to work with, and that really comes from creative frustration, orgasmic buildup. Case of blue balls. They're always sacrificing and fighting their creativity with clients' budget, taste, the latest trend in the industry, and many other things. If you ask me, they're really in the wrong profession. But once in a blue moon, they get to be in control. And that's in the rare case, if they're lucky in their lifetime, to design and build their own home. And in today's video, we're reviewing that in Brisbane, Australia. Let's watch this video together.
We weren't single-minded about making a house. We live in the building, but you can imagine a number of other uses here, like a gallery or a restaurant or an office. And so maybe in the life of the building after we are gone, and because of its location on the edge of the city, it's easy to imagine that it could be any one of those things.
Well, they're kind of using it that way themselves. You see, as an architect or someone in this industry, your home is kind of your business card, okay? So by inviting people over and entertaining them, you're really, building that bridge towards business venture with them as well. That's why I always say you are one of the best avatars of a buyer who will actually buy your own home. They probably have a similar type of profession as you. Now, you got to make sure you nail that avatar as well as two other avatars to make sure there's a huge buyer pool when you bring your house on the market for sale.
Hello, I'm Ingrid Richards.
And I'm Arvin Spence, and we're Richards Spence Architects, and this is our home, Scala.
Okay, it's important what that name actually means, okay? Well, I'm going to circle back to this, but it means the staircase or the ladder, okay? Try to figure out why.
We're on the edge of the city here, so our back neighbours are commercial properties. So we're right at the edge of where the residential starts. It's unlike suburbs that have a kind of picturesque view back to the city skyline. We're so close to it, it's more of a foreground than a background.
Okay, let me translate what he just said, because architects love to use bigger words and make things more complicated than they actually are. He meant the view is more of a foreground than a background, okay? That means that it's not a panoramic wide-angle lens view where you have a background like it just still. It's much closer to the view. It's more tangible. You can touch it. You see the movement within the view, okay? Now, it's actually a duplex, and it's a pretty small house. There's a front unit, and there's a back unit. You only going to see the back unit in this video, and the back unit has it's a split unit house, but it's really a 3-story at the same time. So the primary bedroom is downstairs, there's a small bedroom, there's a powder room, and then the living quarters and the backyard is upstairs.
We tend to entertain a lot and have our friends around us, so we had to contemplate a house that could be comfy for Ingrid and I, but also hold a big group of people.
The site is located on the edge of quite a steep hill, and we wanted to reconcile this level change with the building format in order to maximise the use of the external space, and that was making a central yard rather than backyard.
I was chipping away at it for about 4 years, and then we were on a flight and Ingrid pulled out the napkin and drew the section of the house that we built. And I think I sulked for a week.
Okay, you can hear them giggling as a husband and wife afterwards, but I don't think Adrian is exaggerating, because once you figure out how they've placed this property, this duplex, the lot utilization, it's nothing short of genius. Now, I want to make a personal note. If you're in this industry, if you're an architect, if you're a builder, if you're a contractor, and your spouse has a completely different taste than you, you're really screwed. So I'm so happy to see it, because I'm fortunate to have that in my life. So I'm really happy for them that they see eye to eye on a lot of things together.
Key to the planning was the idea that the front building is an independent dwelling that has proximity to the street. There's activity, it's north facing.
Okay, so the front unit is the unit they're not going to show us, okay? But the entrance to this property is paramount to how you understand the layout of this property. The staircase to the right where you saw him coming down is actually the staircase to the entrance of the unit they're not going to show us. The entrance to the back house, what they're gonna show us, is where this guy is walking to. There is a cleansing experience that you go through this passageway to get to the front door of the back house that we are about to see.
You enter on what we've called the lower ground, which takes you from garage through to a portico, which is quite moody.
I talk about this, right? The approach. You have the private driveway coming in, you set the tone, you cleanse the palette before you release it, right? It's part of the wow factor. Now they have a walkable one in this case.
The downstairs bedroom has a double height volume, which is a product of its location on the side of a hill face. And it's quite beautiful. We use reeded glass for privacy, which I hope works. When you're in bed, you can see the reflection of the light in the morning, and it's incredibly animated, and it's a beautiful place actually to view the sky.
Okay, let me tell you the good and the bad. First of all, the volume of this primary bedroom is absolutely magical. And also, the floor-to-ceiling glass give you a lot of natural light. Why? Because it's south-facing. And that's a bad thing. This is Brisbane, Australia. You want to be north-facing in the southern hemisphere. So it's compensating for the lack of light. But the bad part is that I didn't see any curtains here. So as soon as the sun comes up, you're up. You have no choice.
The middle-level houses, a guest bedroom, a laundry, a bathroom that we use for parties, and it's a low height ceiling, and it terminates in a timber enclosure, ceiling walls and doors, and it's quite a cave-like experience. It's this idea of compression. In this space, it's lit by a window that looks out down into the main bedroom.
Kinky, a little creepy. Okay, let me explain the split level. First, they showed you the small guest bedroom. And then there's a powder room that looks into your primary bedroom. And then there's a laundry area. Now, you would totally miss this because it's to the right of the staircase. So when you come into the property, you're going to see a staircase going up to the living quarters, staircase going down. You're really not going to see all this stuff on the middle level.
Spatial contrast is certainly a consideration in our work, and we find it's the comparison of high and low, light and dark, rough and smooth that you have an emotive response to.
Most people, when they arrive in the house, they bypass the middle level altogether because you are directed towards the light.
Now, did you guys figure out why it's called La Scala, like the stairway or the ladder? I think it's one of the most beautifully named properties. It's because it's to what you would typically miss. So it's pointing out an element that you have to go find why. Yes, it has a lot of stairs, but the most interesting part is that the stairs go to nowhere. It's left for your imagination. It's like architectural question marks.
When you arrive, you're presented with a large room that looks over the city, and it's quite a surprise when you turn around and you look out into the central courtyard. It's a sequence of discovery.
The sequence of discovery. Did you just realize what happened? You go through that passageway, right? You come up the stairs to the formal living space. Immediately, you just got closer to the view, right? And we've talked about it. The view is very tangible. It's a foreground. You can feel it, like you're in it, right? And then when you turn around, you see your central courtyard, which is kind of your backyard. And the most beautiful part is that by positioning the central courtyard, you step it back from the other unit, the other part of the duplex, right? Allowing this side of the house to also be north facing to get natural light coming in. Absolutely a masterstroke. I mean, you know, every lot wants to be something. And to unlock that, you just need to have a lot of experience. You have to look at so many different situations so it will come to you. What does the lot want to be? It took them 4 years, okay? And it shows. What a beautiful lot utilization for this. If you want me to help you with that, here's the inner circle code. I would love to be that guy to you.
The building is massive, and by I mean it has weight, and the plants are able to be free of those constraints. For instance, the vines that you can see on the side of the screen, they are growing inside the building so that blurred line between outside and inside is even more blurry. It's quite lush, and again, part of that surprise when you arrive from that more arid entry sequence, and then you discover this quite furtive landscape. And even the zoysia hybrid, it's a type of grass, it has its own undulations.
Okay, architecturally speaking, I'm going to go a lot more in detail and tell you what I think it is. But most importantly, first you should know that this is not even the style I like, but I absolutely admire their work. It's really about what they didn't include, what type of finishes they didn't bring to the table. It's really the pause between the words, right? Or the notes that really make this minimalistic style work. Again, it's really letting the architecture, the layout, the light do the heavy lifting by keeping the palette very, very simple.
When you use concrete, you have the ability to make the final product feel monolithic. And we tried very hard with the pour sequence to do large single pours so that you didn't see cold joints in the concrete. So it feels like you're in a carved out single piece of material. In contrast to the concrete and stone, there's a schedule of brass and timber across the project. I think the contrast of those materials heightens the experience of both.
What a beautiful palette. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of concrete, looking structures, but how balanced this palette looks, even from the color of the shirts they've picked. Again, as an architect, I wouldn't be surprised when he's buying his suits. He's thinking about how it would look in this shot, okay? So a beautiful, beautiful palette. Again, very simple, minimalistic palette, but very well executed.
Probably the biggest success of the project is the way it holds and manipulates light. During the day, your experience in the house changes. In this room, the sun creeps around the corner to the south in the afternoon and lights the back wall of the kitchen. So we've looked for those opportunities to pull the sun into the rooms at different times of day to animate the spaces.
He's not exaggerating. There's a lot of openings that really bring natural light from many different angles, not just for this main house. I even paid attention to, the unit up front has all these openings to bring natural light from different angles. But again, they didn't compensate the privacy for the backyard by creating the front unit, because the front unit really backs out to the backyard. So you don't really have a direct view into the backyard where your private spaces are. Now, you could have the front unit as your office, right? Or you can rent it out. I don't know which one they're doing. But again, this is a great execution of a duplex property. Okay, let's talk about the architectural style, because a lot of people would just say, look, this is the brutalist architecture and walk away. I don't think it does it justice. I think it's being lazy just calling it that. I think it's a lot more than that. Let me explain. To me, it's a utopian modernist, like a manifesto from 1960s that never happened, because it looks abandoned and to a degree as if it's deceased. That pale color of concrete gives it this lifelessness form, but not as if it's in turmoil. Actually, completely the opposite, in kind of a serene stillness. It's not fighting back. In a post-apocalyptic way, it's no longer struggling. It's at peace. And that's just really beautiful. I don't know if it's a style or a concept.